Alright, so this is an article by Fast Company called "This Startup Wants to Make Buying a Used Car Cool," and they hired Pentagram to help them do it. By Catherine Schwab. The stereotypical used car salesman, and by extension the entire customer experience, seems untrustworthy, disingenuous, and downright slimy. The new e-commerce startup Vroom, which focuses on selling high-end used cars, is trying to restore trust in used cars by taking the salesman out of the picture entirely and reframing the experience with a punchy, irreverent identity. The 6-year-old company's new brand identity, courtesy of Pentagram, aims to transform the image most of us have of buying a used car into something a little more glamorous, fun and glamorous, and in doing so, it subtly nods at some of the most successful car branding in the world, including Corvette and BMW. The company's new slightly slanted logo type was designed to embody the feeling of driving fast down the open road with little flags on some of the letters to emphasize speed. The bright red makes a perfect match to Mini. Red is the color of premium cars from Tesla to Corvette. There's a bit of glamour there, says Pentagram partner Michael Barrett, who works on the project with designers Britt Cobb and Tess McCann. From Little Red Corvette by Prince to a lot of other cultural significance, the idea of a red sports car is, I think, one of the ideals of what driving can be. According to Barrett, one of the biggest challenges of the project was simply deciding whether to brand Vroom as a tech company or a car company. Many startups opt for branding that feels techy, full of whimsy and humor and clean lines, regardless of the industry in which they operate. But Barrett decided it made more sense for Vroom to present itself as a car company. After all, that's what it does. What we really came to believe was that it was really about the car, he says. Really, in the classic marketing sense, what we're selling is putting the key in the ignition. The branding also tries to overcome people's reservations about used cars by focusing on the excitement of getting behind the wheel of your own vehicle for the first time. This is mostly articulated through the company's advertising, particularly in the short, quippy tagline, which features, get in, which features heavily in all of Vroom's ads. It makes the act of buying a car sound thrilling. Nothing like the dreaded hassle many people perceive it to be. On one hand, you've got this legendary suspicion that people have of used car dealers, Barrett says. On the other hand, you have the idea of getting a car, particularly your first car, as a rite of passage in the U.S. It enables you to fully partake of the American life as you're always intended. Barrett points to the classic 1960s VW posters by the ad agency DDB, where straightforward shots of the Beetle were accompanied by the caption, "Think Small," as inspiration. Almost every designer in the world, even if they don't like cars, has a real affection for the original VW campaign from the 60s, he says. There was something very forthright and honest about that. The ad's art director, Helmut Krohn, had picked Futura as a non-glamorous typeface that spoke in a deadpan way. How can we make sure we're trying to evoke the fun of driving, but not in a way that's aggressively hyping this up? From the color and feel of the logo to the historical references to the name itself, Pentagram's branding has done the impossible, made used cars look cool. Alright, that's the end of the article, so we'll see later on how about this tech company goes about marketing and what type of cars they end up selling, if they end up being, it seems to me like they're going to end up being probably, 1 to 3 year used cars, 1 to 3 year old used cars, but maybe they'll go a little bit older. But my thoughts are that maybe they will be the cars that are more, they're more useful for rideshare programs like Uber and Lyft, because I would think those would be the cars that would be more in demand, more reliable, but also the kind of cars that you can use to make money versus something that's going to be breaking down on you more often. So we'll see if there's any more updates on that. If you like the video, comment, like, subscribe, and have a great day.